Morning. So today I'm working on the Firebird, and I'm working on putting this Firewall patch panel in there. So I've got my rocker extension welded in, I've got my torque box mocked up in position and screwed together so it's not going to move. Got my height set on my torque box to match my other side, so I'm good and square. And I'm ready to put this patch panel inside where this where it goes. So that's what I'm working on today. So let me get at it. Okay, so I'm running out of battery, so I don't have much time with this one, so I'm charging some. So I'm gonna quickly get this in here. So what you're seeing right here is this is the torque box. It's set to height. I've already set the dimension to height. I'm matching my torque box over here, which I matched with the original. And I've got a cutout, and this cutout represented the rusted out portion that was gone in my floor pan previous. Now it wasn't all the way up to there, it was like in here like this. But when I replaced this rocker extension, and then I replaced the torque box, in order to have access to weld this to the car, you know, up into here, I needed to relieve this cut in order to get in there. So if I wasn't going to replace this, say this part right here was rusted out, if I was just going to cut this out and put that in there, I probably wouldn't have needed to do that. But I wanted it to be completely strong. I wanted it to weld in here. I found weak spots in here that I had to fix. So that's what you're looking at right now, is where all these panels come together. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take this panel right here and we're going to get it in here where it goes, like this. And then I'm going to massage it in exactly. You know, these grooves right here have to get square. It has to get square in here. It has to be against the torque box. This right here has to fit in. There's ledges that have to go, or this bend right here has to come up against there, because that gets screwed together all the way that way and then gets welded from the bottom. You know, this gets butt welded all along here, like this, up into this area, over to here, this gets butt welded, and this up over here will all be butt welded. So what I'm doing is I'm getting this in where it's got to go, and then I'll put some screws in it to retain the position where it's got to be. And when I put the screws in it, I put the screws down here below where the cut's going to be. So I'm going to basically almost follow this cut, but I'm going to cut them together as one. And the reason I'm going to do that is so I can butt weld them. So I can put these little fixtures in here that you can see, that T-bar right there. It will go in, and I can put that in there. And the strongest welds you have when butt welding is when you have a small gap. I didn't believe that. I thought you had it to be right up tight. And then I watched a video where a guy, I think his name is Chad, he put the pieces together and welded them, and then you had weld basically on one side and it was smaller on the other side, the penetration, even though, I mean, you can burn them right together. And then he separated it by basically a cutting wheel dimension, which is a 16th. And then he welded them together, and he went and he broke them apart. And the one that had the gapping was 5 times stronger than the one where they just were touching. So I became a real advocate of, hey, you gotta use these things right here. See that I got that little gap in between, and where you can cut 2 pieces together and one, and make it so that you can put these things in between. It became much stronger. So that's the concept I've been using, and I'm going to continue using. So I've kind of seen it myself that it makes a big difference. So anyways, I'm going to change batteries, and I'm going to get this panel placed in there and clamped so that I can cut it. Okay, so I am done kind of mocking it up. I need to, this panel right here, it fits good here, fits good here, good down here, but it's got a gap in here. So I've got to this has got an ear that sticks down. I need to flatten that ear out and then move it over 1/8 of an inch from like right here to there so I can adhere it to that panel. Got to do that. But other than that, you know, it fits really good in here. Fits the contour here. Fits this mold, I would say, or shape in here. And then I'm right down on my torque box. Everything's solid there. This right here, yeah, it's got a little bit that should be closed up. So I'm going to have to level that out a little bit. This ear on the bottom, because it has to have the rocker panel and the floor pan all have to fit in here before this gets all screwed together. So that's going to have to come over a little bit. But I had the same thing on that side. It's just the way these panels are made. But I can't leave my shape of my tunnel and right here, these indents are indicators, and right here where this body line should go, and that sets it in stone. So this panel right here is right where it's got to go. It's just this panel's off just a little bit. So I've got a little bit of massaging to do before I put it in there for real, and but getting it in, get some screws in there so I know where it's supposed to be. That was the job today. So it looks really good. Height's right. Everything is right where it's got to be. So moving on. I think when we come back at it the next time, we'll be pulling it off and making that wider right there so it'll fit. And then I'll be ready to cut. So that's it today.